silently watched classmates being taken away from window, murmuring that the school is so scary. After school, the news that Class 2 was electrocuted had spread throughout the school. Lin Fan was walking towards the school gate. Suddenly, a girl with a blushing face stopped him. Just as the girl was gathering courage, was about to take out the love letter in her hand, suddenly a yellow-haired guy snatched the letter. "You're so cool," and went forward to get the letter back. But she was too short to reach it. The yellow-haired guy just raised his hand and she couldn't reach it. Just then, Lin Fan jumped and grabbed the love letter. The yellow-haired guy was angry. "You're so tough. How dare you take things from me?" He punched the tree next to Lin Fan. A hole was punched in the tree, which made the tree smoke. Seeing this, Lin Fan also raised his fist. Just as the minions wondered what Lin Fan was going to do, Lin Fan punched backhand. The tree was broken directly. "The tree is dead. Why do I always get hurt? Why am I always the one getting hurt?" The three yellow-haired guys were shocked by this scene. At this time, two girls found the dean and told the director that Lin Fan was being bullied again. The director rushed over aggressively after hearing that. But when they arrived at the scene, they were stunned. They saw the arrogant yellow-haired man, like a wronged little wife. He was trembling with his legs clamped against the tree. Two minions bowed to Lin Fan at a 90-degree angle. Lin Fan was still holding a love letter. He kindly stroked the yellow-haired boy's face twice. Looking at the skinny yellow-haired guy, kindly reminded him to go home early for dinner. As soon as he finished speaking, the yellow-haired guys ran away. The owner was stunned by this scene, asking if you two had reversed the roles. In fact, Kwan Young bullied the school bully. Lin Fan handed the love letter to the girl. The girl said shyly, "This letter is for you. Would you like to be my boyfriend?" Then she turned her head shyly, waiting for Lin Fan's answer. After hearing this, he said that he would dedicate his life to cultivation. "I need to keep my Chunyang." You don't deserve to hear Lin Fan's answer. Yu Sheng was shocked again and ran away crying. Lin Fan looked at the girl who ran away and sighed that is like a needle in the sea. Today is the birthday of the director of mental hospital. Director Hao looked at the cake in front of him with relief and sighed that it was really hard to live until now. He hoped he could live to this day next year. Just as Director Hao was making a wish to wish for a smooth birthday celebration, a nurse hurried over and said, saying 666. The patient in the ward was causing trouble with others. After hearing the nurse's words, lines of blackness appeared on Director Hao's head. At this time, Lin Fan and Luo Jiang held a plate each, one with a circle on it, and the other with two circles, and connected them with a line, and shouted, "We want this." The nurse quickly brought two plates, one with a quail egg, and the other with two eggs, and a sausage. Lin Fan and Luo Jiang shook their heads like a rattle. The nurse was speechless. "Who knows what you drew?" Then the dean came over. After seeing what Lin Fan and Luo Jiang drew, he immediately understood and said no. Lin Fan and Luo Jiang glanced at each other. Then they lay on the ground and started rolling and screaming. Dean Hao was helpless. He told the nurse to go to the warehouse to get them. The nurse was confused. What do they want? Finally, under the dean's description, Lin Fan and Lao Zhang got their dumbbells and sandbags. But it didn't take long. The barbell and sandbag were broken. The next day, Lao Zhang counted ants on the lawn. Lin Fan meditated on the side. But suddenly, Lin Fan's face turned red. The system prompts that the power of Qigong is too strong, which exceeded the host's tolerance limit. The host is about to go crazy. Seeing this, he took out a needle and stuck it into Lin Fan. After a shout, Lin Fan recovered. Then, the system prompts that the host's body is opening. The energy was imported and the body was released. In a certain conference room at this time, Taoist, Mao, Buddhist, and Yi families, the top experts from the 4 high courts, and the best expert in Coastal City, were holding an emergency meeting. The evil thing that was once the sea lion of insight was actually improving its intelligence. This leads to the same level of combat power, can no longer deal with evil beings of the same level. At this time, in an underground tunnel, the disciples of the 4 high courts are hunting a second-level evil spirit, Sango. The Sango was killed by several people. Angry, it launched a counterattack, but was blocked by Buddhist disciples. Sango's intelligence has been improved. It played a trick of distraction. Its real target was the healer in the team. Everyone was shocked. The evil knew to attack the healer first. They wanted to escape, but it was too late. The wolf dog even showed a smile on his face. The next second, the little monk was killed. Then the Taoist disciple also died with the little monk. Only the disciples of the Mao family were still fighting. But he was no match for the evil. He was stepped on by the Sango in a few hits. Fortunately, he used forbidden techniques before dying, which wounded the Sango. The wounded Sango limped away into the distance. What Sango didn't expect was what awaited him later. He would be ravaged by 2 young men. This is too miserable. He wanted to catch some people to satisfy his appetite, but he accidentally came to a mental hospital and almost became a late-night snack for Lin Fan and Lao Zhang. During the day, Zhang used his galaxy needle technique, accidentally helped Lin Fan open the small world inside. But Lin Fan became a glutton. At this time, Lin Fan felt so hungry, so he ran to the restaurant and stole all the meals. When the nurse saw this, afraid that Lin Fan would eat himself to death, so he went to take away Lin Fan's food. Seeing this, he buried his head in the plate and started eating, with the help of the director to take it away from Lin Fan. Lin Fan ate several people's meals, but still felt hungry. He directly put the spoon in his mouth and bit it. The nurse and director were stunned. This guy not only has bulimia, but also consciousness disorder. This guy has really good teeth. The spoon was crunching loudly in his mouth. Seeing this, quickly found 2 bald men to take Lin Fan away. When Lin Fan was carried away, he gave Zhang a wink. They were indeed good friends who shared a ward. Zhang instantly understood. Zhang came to the table. He suddenly raised his head, and then he swung his head and smashed the table with his head. The other mental patients saw Lao Zhang's appearance. They were excited, cheering and applauding. The director was confused. The scene suddenly became chaotic. On the other hand, Lin Fan took the chance to escape, and even gave Zhang a thumbs up before leaving. Zhang, who's covered in bumps, he gave Lin Fan a thumbs up when leaving, At this time, Lin Fan sneaked into the kitchen. When two cooks, they saw the no one mental patient from room 666. They were directly scared to faint. This made Lin Fan confused. Was he that scary? At night, the manhole cover in front of the mental hospital suddenly opened. The injured dog crawled out of it. Looking at the mental hospital nearby, Sang-go had the idea of attacking the patients. What he didn't expect was, it was because of his decision. His already bumpy life became even more tragic. The mourning dog turned into a little puppy to gain the sympathy of the mental patients to heal himself. So it limped towards the mental hospital. At this time, he was secretly happy in his heart. After the humans cured his wounds, he would eat the human. However, what awaits him will be a darkness that he can't erase. At this time, in room 666, Zhang and Lin Fan were plotting something. Suddenly, a dog bark came from outside the window, which caught their attention. They looked around. They saw a little puppy lying outside the window. When Zhang saw it, he immediately looked at the puppy outside the window. However, why does this little puppy's body look a little strange? Could it be a relative of a giraffe? The patient downstairs looked at the thing on the puppy's belly and was confused. What is this thing? Zhang carried the puppy into the ward. Looking at the little puppy covered in injuries, Zhang took out his treasure and was about to give the puppy acupuncture. The puppy was excited when he heard it and secretly rejoiced that he was lucky. He was lucky to meet a human who knew acupuncture. After you cure me, I will eat you. Before he was happy. A silver needle was stuck in the puppy's forehead. The puppy immediately walked around with foam in its mouth. Then Zhang took the silver needle, stuck the silver needle into the puppy's body. The little puppy lay on the bed after being electrocuted, shaking like a sieve. At this point, he had begun to doubt his life as a dog. Is this guy really trying to save me? Why do I feel like I'm getting worse? He was a powerful evil being that killed everywhere, but now it has become a toy for two mental patients. That's fine. What he couldn't accept most was, these two are even more cowardly than him. After killing the disciples of the four great courts, he dragged his injured and escaped into a mental hospital. He wanted to become a little puppy, to act cute and beg for mercy. He could heal and then eat humans. Unexpectedly, he met Lin Fan and Lao Zhang by chance. When they were carried in, almost got killed by Zhang with his galaxy needle. To send him to the west, the half-dead dog was lying on the bed licking the corpse. Suddenly, he felt a chill down his spine for no reason. When he looked back cautiously, he saw Lin Fan touching his stomach, with green eyes looking at himself. In Lin Fan's eyes, the mourning dog in front of him has become a high-quality ingredient. He even figured out how to eat it, marinating it, then simmer it slowly, and finally sprinkle some cumin. Even a psychopath would be jealous of it. At this time, the mourning dog in the eyes of Lin Fan and Lao Zhang has changed from cute to delicious. Drool was flowing from the corners of his mouth. Looking at their malicious faces, Sang-go's fur stood on end. Are these two really normal people? Why are their brains so clear? Facing the slowly approaching Lin Fan and Lao Zhang, the mourning dog backed away nervously, and the snot in its nose was scared out. After a heart-rending cry from the mourning dog, Zhang Lao pulled out the silver needles stuck in him. These two want to wait for Sango to die and eat him as a late-night snack. They drooled while they encouraged the dog. Looking at Lin Fan and Lao Jiang in front of him, Sango's forehead was covered with black lines. Thinking that these two were definitely abnormal,